Florida?
Well, I don't know. Street Talk and other stuff. Mad Dog Magnati. Our monitor was a little bit off. It's finally come back on. I can see it out of the corner of my eye. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you being here. A week before Christmas. Yes! This is a great time of year. Okay, now again, won't be here for a couple of weeks because the station will be closed both Christmas and New Year's Day. But hey, you have a great Christmas, great holiday season. And I want to say something on a personal note. I have been talking about the show, A Twisted Christmas Carol, with that Music Theater Bonacci produced over the past 3 weekends. The show closed on Saturday night with a sold-out house. I asked many of you to come, many of you did, and my heartfelt thanks, okay? I hope you enjoyed the show. It was a great show. But you know, just something before we go. I got a good guest today, good information, a lot of good stuff. I want you to stick around, but as a mental health professional, I have to take ongoing classes. They're called continuing education. And I was in a class the other day, and the instructor was talking specifically about manic depression or bipolar. And she said, what would you call a person who storms up and down, hollering and screaming, and the next minute is crying uncontrollably? And I said, well, a Seahawks coach. Well, they played today, they played tonight. I can't remember where they're playing, but it starts at 5:15. But hey, let's go on to happier things. Street Talk and other stuff. We've got a great guest, got a great show. Stick around. We will be right back. So.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the Valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. Oh. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Okay, we're back. Thanks for being here today. Now I want to introduce Mr. Scott Johnson. Scott,
Thanks for
nice
having
to
me.
have you here. Now, we have spoken before but never met, so I appreciate him being here. But Scott is the executive director of the Wenatchee Rescue Mission, which I hope you don't mind. They used to be called the Hospitality House. Okay, changed the name a while back, but you pretty much serve the same function that you have for how many years? How many years has that service to the community been in organization? I was a cop. I retired 17 years ago, and it had been years before that.
Oh, yeah, 1984 is
Okay,
when it
all right.
officially started. So it's
Okay.
been around a little while.
All right. So how many people would you say have been through the mission, you know?
Since then?
Make it up. It
I
doesn't
can make
matter.
something, yeah.
Nobody's going to
Thousands, no.
you.
Yeah, hundreds, I guarantee.
Oh, could have been
hundreds.
thousands. Could have
By now it's thousands,
Yeah, sure. What does the Wenatchee Rescue Mission do? Tell us about the mission. Tell us about what the purpose is. Tell us about what need you are trying to fulfill.
So our need is really the basic. So what we do is provide rescue. And the best way I can liken that is that we are someone who comes in and, like an ambulance, picks somebody up off the streets, brings them to the emergency room, packages them up, stabilizes them, and then moves them on to something that they're supposed to be at for transitional living or something like that.
Sure.
So we're that first touch point, the very first thing somebody sees right off the streets. We have an active outreach team that's out every day making connections with everybody we can possibly find in East Wenatchee and Wenatchee.
Okay.
And so that's
Okay, you
really
have
it.
people going out contacting
Yep.
the homeless and people that you're focusing on who
Yes.
are your target group for people that you want to serve, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
And we're making about 250 contacts a month.
Really? Okay.
And that could also be somebody who's in a home. We also run the coordinated entry for all of Chelan and Douglas County. And they'll call us up and say, hey, I've got somebody in a house that might need some assistance. We'll take them food boxes. We can provide some rental assistance to stop them from being homeless.
No.
We also do diversion, which is very important. I think a lot of people don't know that let's say somebody's coming through and they're from Portland. I'll just give you that because it just happened to me not too long back. And I said, why are you here? Well, I'm just passing through. But why are you here? Why are you staying here in your motorhome? And come to find out, he needed a battery. So we went and bought him
Okay,
a
and
battery.
this is staying in, you kind of have a homeless camp,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I'm using the wrong terms, I apologize. Okay, you're going to have to
Safe
educate
parts?
me. Okay.
I corrected him.
All right.
So we have the safe parts. We have
Yeah,
motorhomes.
safe
And part of that outreach team is approaching motorhomes when we see them. And occasionally you might have somebody that may come from outside, and we provide what's called diversion. We can't take care of them here. We tell them there's nothing here for you. We can't do that. And we will pay for batteries, gas, whatever it is to move them to where they need to go.
Okay.
We also run into individuals, occasionally less than 1% of the people we contact are actually not from here. A lot of people think there's just mass. There really isn't.
Yeah.
We had a mom and a child the other day from Tennessee, and this just happened last week, and said, hey, why are you here? And she came for a job, didn't work out. We put her in a hotel with her child. She said, I just need to get back to Tennessee. Now, we don't just put people on airplanes and send them out. We call ahead, find out where they're going,
Sure.
talk to the person on the other end,
Okay,
pay for their
well.
plane ticket, and put them right back to Tennessee.
Okay.
And that's a way for us to just keep people moving where they need to go and not get stuck here.
Yeah.
We do find that sometimes. So.
Okay. All right, now I want to back up a little
Yeah.
bit, okay? I wanted to get to what the purpose of the mission is, but tell us a little bit about yourself as well. Your background,
Sure.
how you got into this type of work, where your passion is, because a little bit off camera, you've been doing this type of thing for a long time.
I have.
So, okay.
So
well,
this
go
is
ahead.
going on my 24th year.
Okay.
I'm working. I'm actually originally from Los Angeles. I worked in Skid Row,
Mm-hmm.
where we've got approximately 40,000 people experiencing homelessness there. And I actually fell into this job. This is not something I had planned to do. I was actually working for Disney prior to
Really?
this. Oh yeah, I worked for
Okay.
Disney for many years. And the Lord just called and said, I want you to go do this. And I said, no. And not doing that. When you're working for Disney, there's some arrogance there, I'm not gonna lie, And so I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I don't know,
So-
Moses told God no 5 times.
yeah, true. It's about as many as I tried. I tried to throw the interview even, and it didn't work. I had a really good thing going, and I had benefits and the whole nine. And just, finally I just gave in. I honestly hadn't been in church that much either prior to that. I just kind of gave up on church. And then prior to that, I spent 11 years in healthcare. So I was working, doing safety, security, disaster response, and anti-terrorism.
Okay.
So I did that for a while, and then prior to that, I was in the Air Force. So, but yeah, God had me on a little weird path, and I just got into this, and things just took off from there. So.
Isn't that amazing how that happens sometimes? Sometimes, we go out looking for our passion, and sometimes our passion finds us and pulls it in, okay?
It really does.
So what exactly motivating you to continue in this, Scott? Because you're dealing with a difficult population.
Oh, yeah.
You're also dealing with a very needy population. So, and it's got to sometimes grind on you because you probably don't see
absolutely.
as much what we would term success
Right.
in some terms
Right.
the other day. So,
I think I had to lower my expectations
okay.
that we're there for the one and not the hundreds.
Right.
And I've seen people that have been on the streets 20 years come in and go out, and then eventually it just clicks.
Yeah.
And I have hope that's the main thing is I have hope that people are going to change. They're going to be helped. Not everybody we deal with is a drug addict. Not everybody we deal with has alcohol problems.
true,
There's a
yeah.
myriad of things. It is literally I always tell people, look at the spokes on a bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're dealing with. And everybody has to be dealt with individually. And it gets me up in the morning knowing that today somebody's going to change their life or at least start. I can tell you a perfect story here is that I've been working on this guy who's living in the dirt down by the river, and I'm not going in, I'm not following any rules. Okay, no problem. Kept visiting. All of a sudden, he shows up with a mission for a meal. I said, I thought you don't follow rules. You're here standing up. You're here standing in line. What's going on? Well, I listened to you and I wanted to try it out. So now he's been coming for the last 3 months. It's never stepped foot in any mission anywhere.
Really?
And now he's sitting there talking to us. The guy who said he'll never come to the mission, never do any, rules aren't going to be his. He follows all the rules and steps foot in the mission and sits and talks.
Okay, like what kind of rules do you have? And there's a reason why I'm asking that, but go ahead.
So we have a low barrier shelter. A lot of people think it's a free-for-all, come in, party, do what you want.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I know that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
Low barriers is when somebody comes in, they can be high, they can be drunk, we get it. I just don't believe in having one of those shelters that closes at 7 a.m. How do I work with somebody when they're sleeping?
Right.
And what we're finding is that with these low barriers, we are able to work with people way better, much more effective. However, there are rules. There's basic rules.
Sure.
No fighting, no alcohol or drugs on site, no using on site, no, the basics. of
Reasonable
anything.
stuff, yeah.
Reasonable
So-
stuff. And we will exit you if you don't listen. I'm one of those guys.
And
I
that's
don't play that game.
legitimate,
Yeah.
I mean, this idea that, I remember there was another organization here in town, and their attitude was that they were not going to have any rules at all. People, well, that changed real fast because you can't, well, even Jesus said, you don't cast your pearls before swine, okay? And you don't let one person disrupt everything for somebody else. Sometimes you do have to take a hard line,
Oh, yeah.
but you're doing it with grace, so... But go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, we suspend. You're suspended for a week. Come back in, but they can't just come back in the mission after a week. You got to stop and talk to us.
Okay.
Explain to us why you did what you did. Apologize first of all.
Yeah.
If it's an apology type of issue, or what's your plan from here in? What are you going to do to change? And if I can get somebody to change this, that shows hope and
Right,
a little bit
exactly.
of faith that they can do it.
Yeah.
And because we have all the food and the clothing, they know what they're losing. And so. We give chances, believe me, more so than probably we should sometimes. But I see something. Sometimes I see something like, no, just wait. And you'd be surprised the reaction I get when I tell somebody they're worth it. You're worth it. I want you to hear me. And I look them right in the face and tell them that.
That's something even people that aren't in the demographic that you're serving need to hear that. You know, I mean, that's just... Yeah, negative self-talk, negative self-image that people has. I mean, it's endemic in many of us.
And you hear that a lot. People on the streets and in the motorhomes tell us a lot. They get spat on. We know that. We've been.
Sure.
I personally have been stuff thrown at me by people that pass by in cars yelling at me things, and just they just don't get that kind of touch. Sometimes a handshake, an arm around the shoulder, someone telling them they're worth it.
Yeah.
The hardest guys will well up. I've seen it.
It's interesting. I'm reading in the Gospel of Luke today, and I read the part where the man is having a feast, and he invites all his friends, and his friends don't come. Who does he get to come? Okay? Go out to the streets. Find the people out there. Go out to the poorhouses. Bring the people in. I want my house full. Those are the people that are coming to the banquet, so to speak.
Yep.
So that's good. I mean, you are dealing with the people who you need to deal with, who we need to deal with. So.
And we don't offer handout. We're all about handouts, not handouts.
Yeah.
We're not going to go around and hand sleeping bags out to people in tents and do all these things. We're going to sit down and talk to you and say, here's what we can do for you, but you have to come with us.
Right.
We're not going to do this that just keeps people on the streets. Let's face the facts.
Sure.
When you come to the mission, you have to do something. You're not going to just sit all day. We've got to start working on something.
Mm-hmm.
And even the motorhomes, you have to show something.
Yeah.
Do we have some rule breakers in there? Yeah, of course. But we know there's some mental illness. So we make sure that they are taken care of the way they need to be. So we bring in mental health to help them, and so, or medical that comes once a month, so we have a lot of different things we do with people that just really, really speak to just caring about them, that they're taken care of for.
But you do have a medical program
Yes, we do,
once a month? Tell
for
me about
CVCH.
a little bit about that, okay?
So CVCH comes in at the end of every month, 2 days.
Yeah.
One day they stay at the mission. So that's not just open to homelessness. People in the community can come get free medical services if they need them. The big van comes down, parks in our parking lot, and stays all day. And then the next day they go out to the north side by the motorhomes, and out there they'll stay out there. And like I said, people come not just from the missions and stuff, come out and do that. So there is a doctor. We have a mental health worker on there, so they can work with people who are having a crisis.
And is that a once a month thing, the mental health
Once a
person,
month.
or is that okay?
For now. So mental health is hard to get just in general. We were it's ecstatic that we had somebody come out for mental health. I mean, that was huge.
I mean, even in, that's, I'm in the mental health field, kind of right now, but it's just, people, it's hard to get a counselor.
It really is.
Yeah, it's hard to get somebody in.
It really is. And to have somebody like us, great. And we've got, we were hoping to get a dentist eventually because we have a lot of people who need some dental work.
Okay.
We're working with a lot of people. We have a lot of elderly with us now that are 70 to 80s.
Really?
And we've got, right now we have like an open slide, if you will, that we'll be able to house two people that are 81 and the other one's 76 just this week.
Really?
Into some nursing
Wow.
care, because we can't do it anymore. We will, and we do, believe it or not, we do a lot of things that most people don't know, like changing diapers and actually some end-of-life things. We sit and hold people's hands as they pass away
Wow.
at the mission because we're their family. So.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Hey, we're talking to Mr. Scott Johnson from the Wenatchee Rescue Mission. Just a little bit he's been telling us today is moving. It's important. And we want to get back and talk some more. Also, give you a chance to help because they do need help. I mean, this is something that's been a huge benefit to our community for a long time. But hey, we're going to take a break. So, Street Talk and other stuff, you stick around. We will be right back. So.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Experience the magic of Washington's winter wonderland, where flames and frost unite. Join us for intricate ice sculptures, 2 spectacular fireworks shows, drinks at the infamous ice bar, live music, a snow slide, polar bear plunge, beach bonfire, and so much more. Did we mention a wine walk and bubble brunch? We've got it all. Purchase your tickets today at LakeChelanWinterfest.com.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Embrace the season of giving at Boswell's. Donate $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless home office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat, or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Okay, we're back. Street Talk and other stuff. Talking with Mr. Scott Johnson, the executive director of the Wenatchee Rescue Mission, doing a great work, has done a great work. Now, how many beds do you have? I mean, because people live there, eat there, in addition to these other services. Medical, you're trying to ramp up your mental health. You have elderly care to a certain degree. Okay, so what is the size of the place?
Inside of the mission, we're sleeping about 90 right now.
Okay.
And so, and then the two.
And this is men and women.
Men and women. Yeah, we opened up a shelter. When I first came a couple years ago, I realized that a lot of our women were being trafficked. And the reason they're being trafficked is simply to just get a warm room. I said, oh no. So we came and within 12 hours, tore up our TV room and turned it into a makeshift shelter for women that had 15 beds. And we do it every year now, just because the need is there. And so, and then soon, hopefully by the end of January, we will have our tiny shelters in, which will house 86 more people. So between the mission, the tiny shelters, and the motorhomes, we'll have almost 300 people.
Again, the tiny shelters are that is kind of a transitional plan, correct?
No, it's a 30-day shelter they can stay. Is to get people on their feet.
Okay, that's what I meant. Transitional in the sense that it's to get them back on their feet and that type of thing. Okay.
The goal is to get the lowest of the low barriers. So, for instance, people with mental illness that can't stay in a congregate living, like in a dorm, we'll have these for them. We have couples, people with animals. You know, a lot of our guests have animals, and a lot of people say, we'll get rid of the animal. Well, this is their family. These animals are, oh man.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm not a pet person myself, but it's aming how connected people are to their
$1 billion industry. You know,
and
sales, you know.
A lot of mental health benefit too for many of these folks. So.
Absolutely. We have people that have PTSD from different military, and they have their dogs with them. So there just isn't nowhere for them to go. There's nowhere for couples to go. So, you know, we want to meet that need as well. Our goal is just to break barriers, so there is no excuse to stay on the street. Well, nope, we have that. Nope, we have that. You know,
Right.
I just put in kennels. They're not the best kennels yet. I'd love to have something that's heated that they can leave the dog or, overnight. But right now we have kennels, so people can bring their dog if they want to bring them in, can leave in the kennel, come in and eat or get services, and then be able to go back out.
Okay, and you serve 3 meals a day.
Yep, 7 days a week.
Okay, and if I wanted to come down there for breakfast and lunch, I'd be welcome, right?
You absolutely are. Yeah. We've got this an interesting, we call it the club, and there's some elderly folks that are coming in there that are not homeless. They are lonely, and they're coming in and having meals. They said, you've got the best meals around, and they're just becoming community, talking to the guys. One guy sits and plays solitaire, just likes to be around people.
Sure.
And
sure.
so, yeah, we'll take anybody who wants
That's
to come in.
incredible. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you need?
What do I
Okay,
need?
now look. This is the time of year, folks, okay? You're looking at your taxes, you're looking at your heart. It's great. What do you, I mean, you are in need.
Oh, yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah,
so
you know,
lay it out.
financially, you know, our November this year was $10,000 less than last year. The economy's taken a hit. And then unfortunately,
10,000 in donations.
donations.
Right.
And then unfortunately last week, both of our pumps went down that pumped sewage up to the top of the hill and into the street. And the quote to fix all of that, and we're gonna have to replace the pumps. They're 13 years old, they're gone.
Right.
And it was $60,000.
Whoa,
And I don't know
wow.
if I'm gonna get that yet. I'm praying hard that God will bring somebody, or just, you know, maybe it's a bunch of people together, I don't know.
Okay, they need
About-
60 grand to fix their pumps.
We do. That's all new pumps, new everything inside, all the guts.
Okay, that'll do it,
Yeah.
right.
And so and everything that we've already had to pay, because I've had to rent out. Right now, we can't take showers, can't use the toilets, can't use anything. I brought
Okay,
in
so this
portable-
is an immediate need for
yeah.
you guys. This
Yeah,
isn't
we're
something
trying,
that-
yeah.
okay.
And it really hit us hard. I just was like, my gosh, you know. And just before that, 2 weeks before that, our dishwasher fell through the floor rotted out. And then some of you may know that last year, our 2 freezers in our fridge went down completely. And so we've just been hit hard, and $60,000 is a lot of money. And I just sunk, and I'm like, well, the only thing I can do is trust God, trust the community to come in and help us. That would be great. And I know some people can't, you know, they're financially,
Right,
but
right.
if you got a pair of boots,
But some
we
people
need those.
can. Some people can.
They can.
You know, I mean, we forget we live in a friggin' paradise here. Well,
Yeah.
we do. We do. So
It's beautiful here.
60,000. Somebody out there's got it. Okay.
Well, 60,000 will help, you know, 300 people here in January
Right.
to have a house. We're going to put it in whether or not we like it or not. We have to do it.
Sure, you got to do it. Yeah,
Or we
So,
shut the
you know,
mission down.
yeah.
I mean, the only alternative to not getting that money is shutting the mission and closing. I can't
Which
run
is not an option.
No,
Right.
and I can't run a operation like this with no sewage. So I know many people think, oh, they get the grants from the city. Yes, we do, but the grants only cover the operation of the safe parks and certain
Sure.
things, not the mission
And this
itself.
is something that's this isn't a planned
No,
budget item.
no,
You know, I mean, you
no.
don't have that on your monthly budget, you know, sewer repair, you know.
No.
It's- Yeah, that's okay.
This is a huge hit. So
Okay.
I trust that God's gonna take care of it. That's all I can do.
Yeah, okay, well, okay, what else? What other stuff can people...
Now, other things that we need, I was looking at our shoes the other day, and I'm like, my gosh, we have no warm shoes. We've got sandals, I've got a few running shoes, but, you know, usually we get inundated with jackets and shoes and things and boots. This year, not so much. And so we're in desperate need of boots, something warm. We would use, if you have 2 jackets, maybe one's a little bit, you know, older, you want it, we'll take it. You know, I always tell people, as long as you'll wear it, we'll take it. You know, if it's ripped up, shredded, you know, or been sitting in the basement and things have been all over it or whatever, those are a little different. But we need some jackets and shoes. Is really just, I notice it's just not there. You know, it makes me a little concerned because if you're out in the street like we do, we find people that their toes are blue, you know, so we really hoping to get some of that too. That's something really
And I'm
needed.
sure this stuff like, you know, just socks, gloves, that type of
Socks,
stuff.
gloves, hygiene items. We always need a shampoo, soaps, toothbrushes, toothpaste. I always tell people everything that we take for granted in our daily lives, we need. You know, deodorants. Those are always happening. And those are great tools for us, believe it or not, that we take a little kit out to somebody to earn trust, to say, hey, look, we came back with something we said we we're going to give you.
Right.
We're not going to let you stay on the streets and just keep giving you things to stay here, but it's a good trust builder for us, you know. So we do use them as tools to do that.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about the mini shelters. Is what
Tiny shelters,
The
yes.
tiny shelters again. Where are they going to go, and how many are you getting?
So we're getting 43 of them.
Wow, okay.
And each one holds 2 people.
All right.
And if those of you familiar with the mission, when you come in our driveway, you'll see the safe park, and then right below it, there's like a hill.
Right.
We've graded that up. There's two flat spaces now, shelves.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come down
And
and
they're
take a
gonna
look.
go, yeah, they're up there. All the electrical's been pulled. Everything's ready to go. It just, the weather changed.
Okay, now these will be, are these self-contained? I mean, will they have waters?
No. So they have heating and air and a bed. So
Okay, all right.
They're not home, so I didn't want that. We
I
wanted
see.
to come down and do a
Okay.
mission, and we'll make contact. They're for 30 days, so somebody comes in, they can stay in there 30 days, and then
Okay.
they have to vacate at that time. Unless I see something miraculous happening where somebody is literally waiting on a housing list or something, I will not vacate them at that
Okay,
point.
all right.
Once you vacate them out, they'll lose their housing because there's no way to get a hold of them.
Sure.
And that was a huge deal within our community, is that a lot of people had housing vouchers, but couldn't get into them because they didn't have an address.
Right, right.
And the housing only will do it through mail.
Okay, this will
so
give them an address.
It will give them an address, yeah.
Anything, well, most people have cell phones now, but would you provide phone answering?
Yeah, we do. Well, we have everybody that
I
comes in.
know it's kind of an oddball question, but it's important.
Not these days. No, everybody that comes in, that we have a thing we go through with them. What do they need? We were able to get 54 people their medical benefits. They thought because they're homeless, they weren't allowed to have medical benefits.
Really?
We've gotten all the time. So all the time. And then we get cell phones if they need them. That's just part of our assessment. A lot of people don't have food stamps, or EBT as we call it nowadays. They don't have those. We get EBT right away.
Okay.
And so we're able to really just pack them in with what they need. And then if we find other things that they want, some people want education, just to try to, if I get my certification, if I can get my license back, we'll get them their license, their birth certificates, anything they need to make them successful.
Yeah, we actually had a gal living with us a number of years ago, and, basically she needed her GED, I mean, got started, and it's been a big thing, so.
Oh yeah, I've seen some great successes coming out of that.
Okay,
so.
all right, so how would people contact you? I know you got a good website, I've been there. It's basically, if you search Wenatchee Rescue Mission.
It's WRMchange.org, and everybody goes, what is the change? When I came to Wenatchee, I've been doing this for 23 years, and I'm just going to be very frank. The definition of stupidity sometimes is the missions, because we just keep doing the same thing over and over. I'm so done with that. I'm done with people donating just for food. You won't see for $1.85 or $2.08 a meal you can support. The reason I don't put that up there is because I want people to see results.
Right.
Believe it or not, I spend very little on food. It took me a long time, but we got the feds to give us an EBT machine now.
Yeah.
If someone wants to come in and pay for their own meal that's in homelessness, or they can. We don't make them, but they can. And that actually supports our budget a lot. Not all the time, but a lot. And we have some great donors out there that have been donating food. Eggs and milk and butter are always the things we need, but honestly, I would rather have somebody spend money on somebody successful than on a meal.
Okay, all right, I need to interrupt.
Yeah.
Just got to take a break. But hey, talk about Mr. Scott Johnson, Executive Director of the Wenatchee Rescue Mission, but we're going to say goodbye to him in a minute, but need to take a break, so stick around. We will be right back, so.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome to the Columbia Basin Dispute Resolution Center. We are a local nonprofit serving Grant and Adams counties, helping businesses and people resolve difficult issues so they can move toward a better future. We offer help with workplace disputes, residential issues, family matters, and can train your staff in conflict prevention and resolution skills. Call us at 509-237-8401 to learn more.
Okay, we're back. Scott Johnson, Executive Director of the Wenatchee Rescue Mission. Scott, God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for what you're doing, okay?
Thank you.
these folks are a good return on your investment for your charitable giving, okay? So give them some thought. But hey, appreciate you being here. I will see you next year. You have a great Christmas, a great New Year. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
All-around athletes in the 2024 class. We'll also introduce you to a trio of talented quarterbacks as we make stops in Maryland, Florida, and North Carolina. And former NFL linebacker Chris Spielman will chat with us in this week's Journey to Greatness. Those stories and more are coming up next on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. Hi everyone, I'm Charles Davis, and welcome to Sports Stars of Tomorrow. Today's show begins in Georgia,